All right, hey, Dave Knight here, Dave Knight Trading. Trade crazy, people. Let's make sure that I'm up and running and I can hear myself before I start. Connecting stream. Double check, Dave Knight Trading. Trade crazy, people. Yeah, I hear myself. All right, let's get going. All right, today is Friday, November 21st, 2025. We're quickly coming to the end of another year of trading. And I have been doing it for way too many years. Thank God for longer term trading, right? I was able to buy some bargains. Maybe I don't think we're done going down, but who knows? Um, so let's bring over. I got some stuff here. Um, what do I want to talk about? First, let's talk about the week. So this is. All right, I'm in the picture, right? Let me bring that down. And you go back to my last video and figure out where I was last week. All right, so let's talk about what do you see in front of you. EA208 was going to have a renew at $77, and I didn't want to renew it, and I was nowhere near 53,000. So I took EA209 and tried to pass it in one try, failed on economic reports. One of these times I'm going to get one of those 3,000 instant winners, but I guess a scratch off ticket, pretty much, right? I am willing to put about at Apex, well, overall, on all prop firms right now, I'm willing to put about 200 at risk at any given time, so 250. That's my investment into me. And you got to have an investment in the prop firm business if you want to make it. At least that's my humble opinion. Notice that we have a PA. Now, I don't know. The PA is below 50,000. The high water mark on that PA is 50,352. So I'm not too far away from it. It looks like I'm about, what, 400 bucks away, roughly. 400 and change away. And the PA 210 is pretty close to its account balance, right? Let's see what the threshold is. It's about 20 bucks away from auto liquidate peak balance. So that one's doing better. The Lucid account, and I'm not going to show that online, but its high account balance is right where you're looking at it right now, 516, and so Lucid trails 2,000 below. So was that 48,516? So end of day trailing balance, I really like that, people. So anyway, long story short, this is my week. EA208 and 209 are well, 208 I just didn't renew. I got rid of it. I failed it, but I was after it. I went after it, tried to pass it in one day with the minis. Didn't. Tried 209 the same way, and then I said, screw this. And I took EA2010. So I've got 30 days basically. Actually, I got less than 30 days as I started EA210 yesterday. So I guess I have to roughly the 20th, 19th of next month, in December, to get that hopefully above the 53,000 mark. I've got a good start on it at 50,640. I am a little over 1/6 of the way to the $53,000 mark. So in a nutshell, that is where I am. Let's close that out because I won't need that anymore. And let's move this off screen. So one of the things I like to do, I shouldn't say like to do, one of the things I read from Al Brooks. Now, I've been studying Al Brooks recently. I got his one book, and I'm debating about taking his course. It's $399. I guess that'd be a Christmas gift for me into my own educational trading. But I am looking at different YouTube videos. I have bought one of his books, and you can see that Hold on, let me make sure that you can see what I'm seeing. So what if you remember, I've been a football coach for many years, and I have a laminator. So what have I done? Well, he suggests printing off the 5-minute charts every day and write on them, write them up. So this is some of the things that I saw during the day. Now, if we're looking left to right, it's hard to write on screen without having trying to draw. But this says 15-minute high opening range. So this was roughly the high of the 15-minute area. Here was the low. We traded under for a while. We traded. So this was one of the trades I did take right here. I took this trade. I believe I missed this one. I took this one for a little bit and got some of it. Now this is some of the winners I had during the day. I picked this one up and I grabbed this one over here. So a couple of them were losers, a couple of them were winners. This is a 3-point. I guess you can't see the whole 5-minute chart. So this goes back to a previous point that was down here. And that's made up that line right here, a trend line. Longer term trend line is a little darker. This pink magenta line right there was October 10th's low, overnight low, not the 9:30, 4 o'clock. I don't play around. I like to play with the 24-hour market, not the other markets that show gaps, and a lot of gaps don't get filled in that kind of situation unless they're close enough to get filled, right? You saw right here, 3 points of contact. So I was looking at that right here. And we looked at 3 points of contact roughly here. These are bear flags or bear pennants, however you want to call them. And this is a micro channel right here. I didn't write on here, but this is a micro channel, and you see the break. See the break of this trend line right here. And this is a nice little, if the market was going to go up, I believe, and to close, this right here, this hammer bar, would have been the one to make it run. By the way, Nutty Bar, in his video, in his live today, said the market was going to go to 24,600, or he was going to go bald, or cut off all his hair and go bald. Obviously, I'm not going to hold him to that, but I got a kick out of that because I remember a similar thing that I said back in the day, and I did shave my hair bald. Now, granted, I have a lot less hair than I did 10-something years ago when I did it. But I did shave myself bald at one point off a bet, so I lost it. This was right here, this low, the green line is the low going back at least, well, this is the low from yesterday, or overnight trading, I should say. At some point, I can't remember, I guess we could look. We'll look in a second what these arrows look like behind here. And then you see the legs that I wrote down, leg 0, leg 1, leg 2. Leg 2 fail is how I put that in my charts. This is, I thought was a failure. Look at the 400 bar and the 100 bar and the 50 bar EMAs all crossing over. Here's your 21, your 50. Everything's very close. Your 100 bar EMA is down here, and your 200 bar EMA is down here as well. So those are the things. And then I've got my highway on the charts. That's just something that helps me see the market, which way it's trending. That's why I have it on there. Notice I got rid of the CCI indicator. Let me get rid of this now. I got rid of the CCI indicator and also got rid of the volume analysis. Basically what I'm doing is looking at one chart now. At the very beginning, when in the morning, I do have my 60-minute up, and I look at 10 minutes, and I look at, well, excuse me, I go 240 minutes to a 60-minute chart. So the 240-minute chart and the 60-minute chart, actually, let's pull those up. Well, we might, okay. So notice that these big trend lines are drawn off of the 4-hour chart, right? So here is some areas that I've noticed on the 4-hour chart that could come into play. Moving forward, notice that this is coming into play right now. Not sure what that is right there, but we're going to get rid of it. Let's see what that is. All right, so that must have been a trend line that was for today. Let's get rid of that. And we got these smaller trend lines that are coming off a smaller chart. So notice that the 4-hour chart, and you can actually see the high and the low right now on, so this back here, the 4-hour high coming at 2 o'clock, it looks like, on October 30th. So this was an all-time high, by the way, on October 30th. And in less than a month, October, November, yeah. In less than a month, now this is October 10th. So October 10th, this was a 1,000-point drop that we had back on October 10th. Here's the high from, and this is a 24-hour market. So I was listening on a trading room today. I have a lot of respect for people, but sometimes people are arrogant sometimes because they don't, and we're not talking the same thing, same language. I've been a futures trader a long, long time. And when I first started, it was like everybody. It started at 9:30, it closed at 4, roughly 4:15 back in the day. To be specific, the market closed at 4:15 as a trading day. That's the stock markets. The bond market obviously would open up an hour earlier, at 8 a.m. I believe, when I was trading bonds. As a side note, I used to be a mutual fund. I worked for a big mutual fund company. It was called Federated Investors back in the day. I got on the trading floor there, and I've been trading ever since. So I actually started trading before that, but it was more longer term. My first trade was Mellon Bank when I was able to, with my dad at 16. So all these orange red lines are supposed support and resistance that I have looked at and have held. Usually I get it off of the 4-hour chart, so that needs to go roughly up here, and we'll look forward how that works. Why did I move that? So this one is coming into play right now, so we'll leave that. We'll move this up to here. That seems to be more accurate of where the market is. This one I'm going to get rid of, and we'll think about that for next week. And we're going to get rid of some of these others that are not in play right now, just to clean up the charts a little bit. The gold line right here is the 15-minute range, and we'll look into that in just a few minutes. Well, after I go to the 240-minute, I come down to the 60-minute. The 60-minute allows me to look at the market as well. We can see the four. Look at that, come right up to that at 3 o'clock today, right? Is that right? Came right up to this 4-hour. Isn't that amazing, huh? So this is a 4-hour. Look how that's respecting that. So it respected it on November 13th. Respected it on November 17th. Blew past it on November 19th into the 20th. Here was yesterday. That was roughly, if I'm not mistaken, was a 1,300 point down in the NASDAQ MNQ. And you can see the little white line right there. We'll focus in on that in just a minute. But this was the top that did not get the 24,600. Too bad, Nutty, you got to go bald. No, I'm kidding. Although I wouldn't mind him doing it if that's what he was. The high right there says, move this out of the way and look this. So the high on Friday says 24,596.5. So this is a pretty big range right now. This was the range today. If we take the low right here, was 23,904. If you would have got every tick today, minus 24,596.5, 692.5 point range today. My spreadsheet is insane. Average daily risk is 7.88, 79 ticks 1R. That's crazy. Look at that, 236. So if I was trading, I actually had to come down, but if I was trading 4 contracts, 4 micros at 236 point, so it would have been 237 times 2, that would be a $474 loss on, actually it says right there, 5 plus, plus commission cost, 492.08 roughly to take on. So obviously I wouldn't be trading 4. And 372, no. 3 contracts, just 2 contracts at a 3R stop is $236. That's too much. So honestly, what I did is I ran with a 1R stop, and I was very quick on getting out of trades and staying. I wanted the market to move my way quickly, or just eliminate the trade altogether. And I did that successfully for the most part today. It's kind of the way that I take on high volatility. It may not be the best way to go at it, but if you're trading minis, go, that's insane. So $5, was that $5 a tick, $20 a point? That's insane movement. So if we look at risk at 236.5 times 5, one contract risk is $1,182.50, if I'm not mistaken. And if you're trading 4,730, trading 4 minis. So no thank you. Too rich for my blood. Thank God I'm in prop firms. So I'm evolving as a trader. I guess that's what I want to kind of comment on. I did bring the book that I picked up on Amazon. This is what I'm reading right now. It's very dull reading, guys. If you don't have, this has a lot to go back on this book here. Edward McGee, Technical Analysis. So if you got some knowledge of this book is Al Brooks has based a lot of his methods supposedly off of this book, which is a very dull read as well. Go figure. I am also reviewing in my own personal knowledge, from my own information, Trading in the Zone. I'm reading through this book again, and I base my R system off of this book, Van K. Tharp's Trade Your Way to Financial Freedom. Man, a lot of these guys are dead now. Al Brooks is still living. He's in his 70s, if I'm not mistaken now. Boy, I'm closing in on my 60s, 58. This year, I'll be 59. I want to say I'm 57, but nope, I'm 58. I passed Heinz 57. Last year, I am at 58. And I thought that was right on top of this. Did we hit that during the day? Oh, wait a minute. There it is. There's that trend line. It's amazing how trend lines operate, right? We get in this area here. Actually, we can get rid of that one. We don't need that one anymore. We can get rid of this one. Here's that 3 points. It's probably what I was looking at before. Yeah, these three right here. And then the up move. That's a 60-minute chart. So we need to go down to the 5-minute. That's a trend line I got rid of. So let's make it a line. Not an extended line right now. Just make it a line. It's like I was looking at this. Go back, and there I was looking. So this line needs to extend a little bit more. So that's what I was looking at. And of course we broke it. We fought for it around, and then we finally went up. This trend line held this, well, it actually didn't hold. I didn't see it until we actually made this low. And this was we had a couple of nice moves up, right? We had this move going up today to the 400 bar EMA, and we had this move right here that went up to the pivot point and a little bit more. So there was some nice long setups today. You had the balls to hold on to these. These were very violent moves, back and forth. When you're looking at the 5-minute time frame, it looks like, oh yeah, buy here, sell here, right? In actuality, it comes back to your entry point an awful lot. It's like this trade right here. This trade right here, I got in on this bar. It hit my 1P target, by the way. Automatically, it was a beautiful trade. So it went 119. What did I have 1P at today? Let's look. 118. It should have been 119, but I had it at 118. Oh yeah, I always don't round. I don't round up. That's right. And then the other target is a 10P profit target, if I'm not mistaken, or 9. One of the other. It might be 9. I think it was 9P today. Let's look. Yeah, it was 9P and 1P. So it went straight up and hit the 1P target, and then it came back down and rolled and hit me and knocked me out. So, and we're looking, actually I was looking at this, but we're looking at this 5-minute bar. Let's see if I can widen that out a little bit. Yeah, there you go. So I got long off of this bar on this hammer. Look at the support lines that we had holding. I was watching these bear pennants down, bear pennant down. We went down here. I thought, well, this is that leg that I was looking at, right? And I went long here. 1P was like up here. I fell behind the trade. Actually, I guess, no, I don't want to put the markers on. And I put my other stop roughly on this right here, a little below that. So, and then it came back down, rolled and hit me, and obviously you can see what happened after that. That was a leg, I called it a leg 2 failure, because I thought that was going to be the leg that would push to the, if there was a leg that was going to push to 24,600, I believe this is where it would have made it. There was no buying pressure. Nobody really wanted to hold overnight, I assume. That's pretty much what that meant. As we're closing in, this is the 340 bar, and there wasn't any real buying pressure in the close, which makes sense. Nobody wants to hold over a long weekend up here when they can hold down here. So notice I'm putting lines on the charts now. We can get rid of this now. That signaled the pennants, basically. You can look at it this way. The pennants, the bear flags that I was looking at, and then this is that micro channel that we were looking at. I debated about taking that move, actually. I didn't, but I debated about it. I saw this one, and then I saw this one, and then I did take that trade right there. And actually I went long on this bar here when we crossed over the 15-minute opening range. And I caught this move basically to here, and then this bar retraced me back down and out. So I messed all that up there, especially this one right here, which is the biggest bar of the day on the 5-minute chart. Was this bar that came in at 150. And you notice that we came up after that, went up a little bit, make a little channel, and then it came down, made a little channel, came down, made a little nothing here, and then went down into close. But overall, it was up compared to where it was at 5:30 in the morning, and it was up based upon where the market opened up here at 9:30 in the morning. So it was a nice pull off the bottom, to be honest. You see the pull off the bottom right here. Here's your 3 points of contact right here as well. And then we started coming off the bottom. This was probably my overall best trade of the day, was right here. I did catch some of this short coming down, and I exited on the 15-minute bar. I got stopped out. I came in, excuse me, a low. I was up here, and it came down. I believe I got stopped out on this bar as it moved back up. And then I caught some of this move down. Got the 1p move, and then it knocked me out. This one this one of these two I didn't take. This one here was a decent trade setup. This is the one that I was able to hold a little bit longer. This one here I took two, which was a really nice setup. I took this short for a little bit, but I went short from here, and I think I was out right here as we pushed down to this mark right there. So that was a prior low, and I believe I went the other way on this one. So I had a couple losers, a couple winners. A lot of the trading in the afternoon was on the sim account because I was testing out stuff on the McGee stuff, and the sim's already gone. But this was up almost 400 and something during the day. So that's gone now. I don't know where that went to, and this hasn't resolved itself. But this is how I finished this. I was playing around in the sim in the afternoon and trading 2 contracts, and I was able to get about 400 bucks over that. So that was actually taking a lot of the ideas that Al Brook is talking about, and I'm simplifying the charts is what I've come to a conclusion here. Notice I've got some lines. What was that right there? Oh. So I'm keeping the pivots on. I'm doing support and resistance. I've got a 9 EMA, 21 EMA. We have our highway that helps for me to determine overall trend of the market. Try to stay away from it when it's like this. Nice little up move. Starts coming down right in here. Comes into close down. But notice that this holds as well, and that's something you want to see when you're trailing your stop. You want to see your highway holding. This didn't come anywhere near it for a while. Like I said, I came off before this bar, so I didn't catch that move. But it was an overall nice little trading day for me overall. I think we'll leave it like that. Is that yesterday? That's this morning. Looks similar to how I set up this mark here. So I had a couple of good trading days, and my low on PA28 got a lot lower than I wanted it to during the week, and I thought, you know what, I've got to stop being stupid. And I was able to make up some money yesterday, and also get some money today and the day before that, and get it back close to 50,000. So yeah, I calmed myself down in the PA, and I was trading too big in size on one day that I took a big loss, but thank God Quant Guard was working. It locked me out, and that's what I'm sticking with right now. So overall, that was my week. My wife is home, and we're going to call it. We're going to call it our week. That's what I did for the week. Hope you had a better week than me overall. I still have my Tradeify account. It was free to me, and I've treated it as free. So I barely have anything left on that one, and I don't know what I want to do with it at this point in time. So I'm going to debate about it. I'm going to wait for volatility to come down if I can hold on to it long enough, and then take a shot with low volatility later in maybe December, probably after Thanksgiving's over. Next week is a short week. I don't normally trade Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of Thanksgiving week. I'm debating about taking the whole week off as well right now, since I've been going at it pretty hard since August, last part of July when I got back home from a vacation. I've been trading August through November right now, pretty much without a break. Learning a lot of stuff along the way, refining what I want to do and how I want to approach it. And I'm settling in on the 5-minute chart. The 3-minute chart has a lot of noise. I know that a lot of guys like the 2-minute chart. A lot of the traders that I watch on YouTube use the 2-minute chart. There's a lot of noise and false signals on the 2-minute, but today it's like, oh, okay, I'll go short here. I'll go short here. I'll go short here. I'll go short here. And I'll make a ton of money, but it doesn't work like that. I'll go long here and hold it the whole way. It doesn't work this way. This bar, just this red bar right here, was, if you hold that one, the high was 24,373.75, and the low was 24,373.75, and the low was 24,344. That's 30 ticks right there, or 30 points, excuse me. Almost 29.75. And if you're trading the minis, was that, that's not right, times 20, right? $195 move right there, high to low. And that's one of the smaller bars. It's a 30 tick move. And if you're trading even the micros at 30 ticks, it's 2 micros at $2 a point times 30. That's not too bad. 60 bucks maybe. Doesn't sound right though, but maybe that's what it is. It's actually tick related. 29.75 times 4, 119 ticks right there. So times 0.5 times 2, yeah, it's $119, right? So even that one, even this small bar, it's a very difficult to be able. You have to size down and hold on you have, it's just very conducive for blowing accounts when the volatility gets this high. So being patient, and I find the 5-minute chart allows for me to have more patience right now. Less signals means less trades, which for me is probably the best of both worlds for me. So I'm kind of settling in on, and I've been all over the map. 369 tick chart I used to trade off of, 2000 tick chart, 2-minute, I've traded that, I've traded the 1-minute, I've tried the 3-minute. I believe I'm settling in on the 5-minute chart, and I am, like I said, book I'm reading is this one right here. I'm barely in it. There's a lot of information in this book. There's 400 and something pages. It's going to take some time to get through, and like I said, maybe Christmas gift to me this year will be the video course. All right. I said all right 15,000 times today. Let's wrap it up. All right. We are at 36 minutes. Let's call it. It's Dave Knight here from Dave Knight Trading. Trade Crazy is another one. Maybe one of these days I'll put something up, or maybe I'll put a members area together when I'm confident of what I want to do and how I want to accomplish it on here on YouTube. That's about it for my week. I hope you had a better week than me, obviously. It was an overall profitable week for me in Lucid, and I have a good start on PA or EA 210, and I'm holding my own in my PA account. Hopefully to make that between here. What's the goal? I like to get to 54,500 to 55,000 on the account, and take the withdrawal, which I believe you can take out 1,500. I want to turn the Lucid to Lucid to get paid on it. I really like what I'm seeing at Lucid. I probably will be weaning myself away. Maybe at Apex, I don't know. You know, in my past, I was with Top Step, got paid with them, traded crude oil, did really well there, and then we won't get into the rigmarole that comes to there, but basically Top Step and Apex have made a lot more rules as time has gone on. Lucid is a lot more friendly, so is some of the others. And I asked Nutty actually the question in the chat during the week, and I asked him what is his top 3, and he actually gave me a top 5 list. His top 5 prop firms: Lucid, Tradeify, Take Profit Trader, Trade Day, and he did also include Apex in there in the equation. Apex and Top Step are the behemoths, but you know, Lucid and I didn't really give Tradeify a real good go. If I do, I'm gonna wait till. Part of the problem that I'm running into right now is I don't have a trade copier, and then I've got too many accounts to trade in any given day. And what I did yesterday is I had 3 5-minute charts on the account. I hit buy market, buy market, buy market as quick as I could, and even the fills were all over the place. And I'm just talking, you know, just a couple seconds between one hit, maybe a second here, second here, second here, and just that little bit of time, the fills were all over the place. So that's the volatility that we're in right now. I'm looking at Replicanto. QuantGuard is supposed to have a trade copier. It wasn't working good when he had it on before. Miles at QuantGuard. It was not reliable by any stretch of the imagination. But QuantGuard is starting to work a little bit better, and it's failed, and it's up to me basically to control my own self. QuantGuard is a nice backup to lock yourself out from doing anything. After you come back during the day and you look at it, and I like what Nutty did about that. He said, Lester said that he uses it just to lock himself out of all his accounts. I mean, dude is trading. I think today in the afternoon he traded 47 performance accounts, funded accounts. Crazy. Bravo. I watched him struggle. I watched him get to where he is now, and he's already got paid up over $200,000. God, just dreamland right now. It's just a different way of thinking about it. I used to have a futures account, make a lot of money in it, take money away, lose some money, have $5,000 losing days, have $10,000 winning days, and I like the prop firm so much better where you're limited at risk. Like for instance, my Lucid, I think I paid $81 for that, for the opportunity to turn into a funded account, to use that to get payouts on. And it's all about payouts. That's what you see all the influencers out there talking about, getting your payouts and passing. I was in Clay Trader's room a couple days this week. Good guy, enjoyed listening to him. Who else did I went to Alpine Trader's room for a little bit this week when Nutty was not there. So today was a neat day, and the last couple of days was a neat day to go and look at other people and what they're doing. But what I've noticed, a lot of the influencers are trading that 2-minute chart. I just think I think the 2 minutes too much noise. If I was going to trade anything, it would be a tick chart, because you see the volume a little bit easier on those. But even that, I mean, there's just, if you're looking at like a 369 chart, this is insanity right here. If it comes up. So this is just insanity. Crossover, crossover, and to close. I think I'll hold this whole move. But it looks like you could have. It didn't cross over here. So you come down here at 24,300. This is almost 4 o'clock right here. Didn't cross till about here. So it'd only be an 18-point move. So yeah, this is the definition of insanity. This was a nice little move, it looks like. 350. So crossovers right in here. 24,400 roughly. Cross back over right in here. 24,302, so about 100-point move. Times 4, 400 ticks, I guess, right? 400 ticks times 0.5, 400 ticks times 0.5, 200 bucks. So that's a $200 move, I'm assuming, per micro. It seems that it would be more than that, though. 100 points is $2, right? Yeah, $200 move right there per micro. $100 move, 100-point move at 5 ticks. That's what, 5? It's what, 1,000, right? $5 a tick by 400 ticks. 2,000. Anyway, I'm not playing in the mini world anymore. It's the quickest way I know to fail an account playing in minis. All right, that'll do it. Have a great rest of your week. It's Dave Knight here at Dave Knight Trading, Trade Crazy. Today, once again, was Friday, November 21st. I am basically looking at Al Brooks stuff right now, and obviously the knowledge that's already in my head to help me in my decision to be more of a technical trader and take on lesser setups, less is more philosophy in the end. Watching what how I trade is micros related back to volatility of the market right now, which volatility is insane. Hopefully it'll settle down into the new year, and it's going to take a while for it to settle down into December. All right.